Good morning from Fort Lauderdale, today sunny Florida at this 61st Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. We are today here aboard the flagship of our flybridge collection, the Azimut Yachts 78 flybridge. And as usual, we're going to give you an overview and we will focus on all the details. We like to do this video in order to have you go through the boat just like if you would be here with us or at the boat show. So we will go through hopefully a lot of little details that is not necessarily so easy to know they are there. We'll be quite fast on the basics, so we'll not be wasting time telling you that this is a C-shaped sofa. But we'll go through the boat as much as we can, also from a little bit of a technical standpoint, information on manufacturing and design. So we will start here from the cockpit, very spacious, very welcoming and fully equipped. So let's start from this unit right here. Of course, this is your wet bar where you have a countertop if you don't need the sink, and then instead you have a sink and a nice countertop on the side. Of course, you have stainless steel refrigerator, drawer refrigerator, and ice maker for your cockpit. And as usual at Azimut Yachts, we use every single inch for storage. So also this little pocket right here is useful and convenient as a storage next to your wet bar in cockpit. And then moving on this side, of course, under the sofa, I would like you to take a look at this because this is worth it. Look at the amount of storage for fenders or cleaning product. We're talking about over 4 feet of depth by 2 by 2. So it's an incredible amount of storage which you have under the cockpit C-shaped sofa on both sides. On the other side, actually, there is fenders in here as we speak, so it gives you also a sense of capacity. These two stanchions you see right here, they are of course structurally supporting the flybridge. That's why we can have so much overhang, and we'll see that what it means when you go up to the flybridge in terms of space. But also they incorporate a privacy curtain which have a very convenient remote control. You press a button and a curtain comes down and stays in between those two poles in case it's too sunny, it's too windy, or for instance in case of a stern dock-in like in Europe. If you want to enjoy your cockpit with a little bit more privacy because people are walking on the dock, you close that curtain and you also have privacy. Last but surely not least, a couple of technical features in the cockpit. This is our cockpit docking station. This boat is powered by Volvo Penta IPS, 1350 horses each times 3. And of course, to maneuver, you only need your joystick in the cockpit. We also put the thruster control, even though Volvo Penta rightfully so claims that you don't need a bow thruster, and I've tried and trial multiple units, and it's true actually. But we also have the bow thruster because if you want to do a finesse maneuver, especially here in the USA, when maybe he's on hers and she's on the bow, she just needs to put the line on a pole. Of course, the motion from the amount of power you have on the main propulsion is a little bit nervous, versus on the thruster you can really do a finesse maneuver and somebody in the bow will always feel comfortable. Now, looking at this is also actually a very clever little panel which has all the control of your battery switches. Of course, your engines, your generator, and your service battery. Right now is telling us that the only switch we have closed is the service batteries. So what this means that you don't have to go through all the switches or all the breakers every time you leave the boat. You can leave all your DC power as you like to find it when you come on board. And when you leave, you just turn this switch one way, turn one switch, and all the DC power that you have breakers on for will go off automatically. You come back to the boat, you turn one switch, and everything go back exactly the way you left it without going through breakers and switches. So very, very convenient. Actually, it also have this little key right here that you can take away with you. Is the key which disable the movement of the storage, stern storage compartment, so nobody can operate it and steal toys from the boat if it's unattended. I think now we're gonna close our top to give again another look to this beautiful material. This is synthetic marble, and don't misunderstand it as a cheap solution. It's actually more expensive than marble, with the difference that nothing can stain it, nothing can ruin it. You can have citrus, you can squeeze a lemon on this surface and just wipe it off, while marble will be ruined for life. So this is synthetic marble with beautiful custom Korean framing, both the tables, you'll see the one on the flybridge as well as the tops. Let's roll inside. So let me open this door. Again, our doors are very sturdy and they lock in place. Again, I always like to repeat it. People might see me maybe doing a little bit of an effort moving this door. There is a reason. First of all, the quality of the glass, the framing is solid. You want it strong, but also they are designed to lock in place, so they're spring-loaded mechanism which block every single section of the door in place, so the movement that the door can do unattended in case of a roll is minimal, and then lock in place, so it can't hurt anyone in between. So this is why doors are fairly substantial and they require some mechanical work in order to move the section, is because of safety. Now going through here, I always like to say that from this step on the beach platform coming up all the way to the helm station and galley, you have no steps. So we achieved that through this oversized drainage system, which is, you can see, is a massive drainage system that go through side beam to beam of the boat. So in order to have no step to the door, we needed to engineer this drainage system, and of course is a no-brainer. Again, it's safety. Sometimes with bad weather you can have backflush of water coming into the cockpit, so to meet the construction standards you need to either have a step in order to block flush of water, or an oversized drainage, which of course is a no-brainer. And actually, while we are doing this video during the day, so you will not see it, but it's also nice the lighting details. If you, I don't know if in the video shows up, the backlit under each of those steps and this piece of furniture, there is beautiful LED lighting, which of course at night, there is a lot of picture of the 78 flybridge online, shot at night, and go check them out, because the lighting work that we have done on this model is phenomenal. So all the steps are backlit. It's just a piece of art at night. So let's move in the salon. So this is an Achille Salvagni design, which worked with us since over a decade now. This is his latest creation in the Azimut yachts range, the Azimut 78, when it was introduced a little bit less than a year ago. So this is a pure Achille Salvagni design. You saw the shot from the cockpit, so you understood that this is a lounge version. We offer this model with two salon versions. One is this, which is more lounging, and we'll go through the features. The other one is a little bit more formal, where you have your more traditional dining table and chairs instead of that sofa. So these are oversized sofa, so very, very comfortable. You can see the ergonomics are extremely comfortable. The backrests are the right height, the seats are very wide, so they are really designed to spend a good, comfortable time on board, but they're pretty. Of course, I think Achille Salvagni does an amazing job. These are all designed by him. You can't buy them in any store, but they're also clever, because check this out. With really a movement of one hand, they all lift up and provide you incredible amount of storage. You really focus on the volume that you have available there for storage. I will now close this, and of course the same applies for every section. So these open this way. This is all storage, and you know, just briefly and quickly, but this does the same, that does the same, that does the same. So I don't think you want to go through every single sofa, but the idea and concept is clear. So they're beautiful, they're comfortable, they are design pieces, but they're also functional. They all provide an immense amount of storage. Talking about storage and design, this is another piece designed by Achille Salvagni. This peanut shape coffee table, and again, we will never leave that amount of volume unused. So look, check the amount of storage available you have here by just lifting this tray, which fit seamlessly into this coffee table. Again, So you have your storage here. This is where now we have remote controls, and this boat arrived like a little over a week ago from Italy, brand spanking new. So still have to go through its final commissioning, but that gives you an idea of the amount of storage you have. This is actually the remote control I was mentioning before for the privacy curtain in the cockpit. Is this thing. Once the boat is sold, you maybe want to screw it here and just press a button and you can have it, you can operate that curtain. Again, going through storage, we have a little bit dedicated to audio video, but also available storage here. And of course, media. Media, while you're pointing, that is your television, which of course comes up electronically through this switch right here. I will not go through the entire process of up and down, but just give you an idea. And of course, the concept is that you will see the ugly appliance of the television only when it's on and when you want to watch it. Other than that, it seamlessly disappear, and you have your unobstructed view at basically 270 degrees around. This other switch, while we are here, operate this table. So this is, as I said before, this is our lounging version, which has this beautiful leather wrap Italian leather sofa, and a table which in the lower position is really a nice conversation piece. So you can have friends and family in a more relaxed lounging, configuration. You can even, it's also comfortable to watch a movie in more people without staying too close to each other. As you can see, my ergonomics are, I can stay 3 hours here watching a movie and I'm perfectly fine. My cup of tea on the side, so it's very comfortable. And then when you want to dine inside, because don't forget, you have a dining area in the cockpit, a dining area on the flybridge, and an almost dining area in the bow. But if you want to dine inside through this switch, you just lift the table. And again, I will not go through, waste precious seconds to go through the entire process. You got it. So lift the table, remove this decoration piece, you pull out 2 per side, open your leaves, and you have a pin. Actually, down here, you have a pin where you can slide and lock the table in a more dining position. So picture that once this is all up, of course it clears the sofa, you open this leaf as well, and now you have a table where you can eat 8 people. You bring the chairs from the cockpit in, 2 chairs here, 2 chairs there, 2 and 2, and you can have inside dining for 8. And then in 2 seconds, you just close your table, retract your legs, lower it again, we'll not go through it now, and you're done. While you're here, convenient drawers, storage throughout every single available space throughout the boat. And actually, on the technical side, I always like to show, for instance, we always talk about air conditioning, which is extremely important because it's one of the most sophisticated systems on board. Is the air we breathe when we are on board, is the comfort we have. So the air conditioning is very important, and we provide super easy maintenance access. So for instance, this fan coil of this area, you just remove this piece of wood and you access your filter, which is right here, and you take it off with a gesture of one hand. Take it off, clean it. I always recommend clean your air conditioning filter, clean your air conditioning strainers, and then you put back this panel and off you go. So all air conditioning, we'll take a look at a few. All the air conditioning systems are extremely easy to access with the purpose of have you maintain them easily. A little bit of design. These are actually pieces designed by Achille Salvagni for the Azimut 78 flybridge. So again, these are not pieces that you can buy in the store off the shelf. They are designed by Achille for the 78. Accent on the bulkhead. Typically these are bulkheads which for the majority of the other products in the industry are left blank, and instead here we make the bulkhead as a piece of art with a combination of oak and this trim aluminum panel, which gives this wave effect. And if you look at from here, the bulkhead is actually not flat. I don't know if it comes out on the video, but it's slightly curved to give the effect of a sort of a wave, if you wish. Now let's move to more technical spaces. This is the area where, of course, we have a helm station, galley, crew quarters. So by closing this door, this 78 becomes really mega yacht concept where crew and owners don't interfere with each other. So now by closing that door, this area is completely separated. So if the crew needs to go outside, this is the door that they will use. Again, we always use the same mechanism. So automatic, dogs come down, the door watertight, and then all you need to do to open is just push and pull, and then when you pull it back in, you hear the system. The dogs are coming in to guarantee water tightness. So as I was saying, these are two separated areas now. This is the access to the outside for the crew without interfering with the owners. And this is your fantastic helm station. Let's go through the helm and then we go to galley and crew quarter. This, as I mentioned before, 78 flybridge is powered by three triple 1350 IPS Volvo Penta. In Volvo Penta configurations, our electronics package is Garmin because they do work together. They have a joint venture, if you wish. So Volvo Penta proprietary information systems for alarms and pop-ups and messages from the engines to the monitoring system goes only through Garmin. The advantage is that, as you can see, you can build a fantastically flush, simple and clean helm, and you don't need to combine your multifunction display with your engine's display and have, of course, a little bit more of a cluster of components in your helm. And typically they look different. The black is not really the same black, the gray of the frame are not really the same gray. One has a trim, the other one doesn't, so they don't look that great. The combination of Volvo Penta and Garmin made it easy for us as manufacturer, and made it easy also for the customer, because again, we buy a full package which really goes from the propellers to all the controls to all the electronics from one supplier, which is Volvo Penta combined with Garmin. So also from a warranty and serviceability on the market, it's easier, it's one number to call. Or anyway, there is connection between the two companies. They're not complete strangers. Going through the system, this is, I always set it up the way I probably would like to have it when I navigate. So I want my charts in the middle, always my fish finder on the side. I want to know what is under my props, and my monitoring system on the side, and probably the easiest to access and check if I'm going around and doing other things. I want to make sure that this is the most accessible. I wouldn't want this here, right? So it's much more convenient to have it here. And we can go through this real quick. And this is the area where you control all the systems of the boat that you want to control. For instance, this is the page for your bilges. You always want to have your bilges under control. You can control the pumps, you can check the alarms if they goes off, and then you have your AC power. So for instance, right now it's telling us that we are connected to shore 1 and shore 2. We have two shore power 50 amps cable connected to shore right now. It shows that they are feeding the boat. This has 214 volt with a amperage draw of 16 amps, 210 volts, 17 amps. Don't pay too much attention on the voltage. We are at the boat show, voltage is very weak. Imagine the amount of boats which are connected to the network right now. So that's why it's not that clean. You don't have that good voltage here. It's just because this week is very demanding from a power standpoint. You can start and stop your generators from here. You don't have to go down to the engine room or anywhere else. And you can put them online once they're started. You put it online. You see this bar is open right now. This little relay symbol. Our circuit symbol is open because your generator are not online, and this is closed because your shore power are online. When you will be on generator, that will be open and white, and this will be closed and green. Same for DC. Right now our engine battery switches, I don't know if you noticed when we look at the switch in the cockpit, they were off. The only one lit was the service batteries, which also close the switch of the bow thruster batteries, so you don't see the other voltages because all the switches are off, are closed, or open rather, in case of a switch. But if they would be closed, you will see amperes draw and voltage of all your DC systems. So these are all your DC batteries on board that you can control in one page. Then you have a page for navigation. You can control windshield wipers, of course, the structures of the engine room, gives you information of your engine room temperature, very important, the temperature on board the boat. I believe there's something off here, hopefully it's not 12.2 Fahrenheit. And external temporal is definitely 91. And then information of your angle and, trim and roll. You can control your lights from here. So searchlight control, on, off, and move the searchlight. We'll take a look at it later when we go in the bow. It's a beautiful searchlight. And your floodlights, navigation lights. So this is your lights page. Very important, this is your tanks. You always want to know how much fuel, how much black water, gray water, and fresh water you have on board, and you can control also the pumps from here. Last, but surely not least, is the air conditioning. Very convenient. You can set the entire boat on the same temperature and fan speed from here, or by heating every area, you can control the dedicated cabin. It tells you here starboard gas cabin, 64.3 Fahrenheit, that sounds about right. And you set the temperature, fan speed, and so on and so forth. So you can press one button, synchronize all zones, you see this? And all the air conditioning of the boat goes at the same settings, or you can control each one independently. You have your alarm page, which have your alarm histories and what alarms are active. You control your chain counter, so here you can lift and drop your chain and read how much chain you have in the water, and also it gives you information on your heading from this page. And this is your setting page, which you don't want to mess with. We'll do all of that for you. But in case you want to change settings, unit of measures, and so on and so forth, this is the settings page. So again, I think we went through the helm. Maybe take a look at this, because this is I'm very proud of this boat also backstage. So take a look at the quality of executions of the systems. You can really eat there. You can pour food and eat from there. How clean and perfectly made that area is, and the same goes from on this other side right here. This is also an immense amount of storage there. So imagine, captain, you can put your chart, your flares, your horn, emergency horn, your emergency VHF. You can keep a little emergency kit in that storage compartment right there. I think we skipped talking about storage. On this side, we have something very cool and important that we skip. My bad. Look at this. All your china, perfectly stored. Every single piece has a neoprene. I don't know if you see my finger going through. Has a neoprene base, so you don't have any rattling, any movement. This is a soft, every single piece. Obviously, espresso cup, Azimut yacht, custom made. Plates, teacups, and other plates and bowls, all conveniently located in one area. We'll see the silverware later. While we are here, storage, electrical panel. You have main electrical panel in the engine room. We'll go through that later, as you know. But this is your DC, AC, electrical panel, conveniently located. These are all the breakers that you need. Remember what we said before, this is your DC panel, but when you switch off that battery switch in the cockpit, it's like switching off all the breakers of that panel with one switch. Very, very convenient. And last, storage here, and actually this is access to, again, a fan coil. So these panels, don't worry about that noise that you heard. They are holding place with a strong 3M double-side Velcro, so you don't want them to rattle, so it's hard to take them off, but they are designed like that. And that's your fan coil for the helm station. Again, you take off this panel as well, and you have super easy access to the fan coil to clean your filter. And then you put it in place, you press it, don't worry. Actually, look at this detail. I didn't even notice this. So even put a net, you want to put the manual of the fan coil or some literature. So, little breakfast nook in case the owner want to come here and have a coffee in the morning, or you know, a little bit of a crew mess if you wish, for the crew to relax. Again, every single inch of the boat is storage, so you remove that sofa with one piece and Velcro, and underneath you have a very good sizable amount of storage that is always needed and never enough. And of course the table actually move and slide on the side, so you can have easy access on and off, and a comfortable position where you can have your elbow and chit chat with the captain if it's a long watch, you know, spend some time here and move the table, you know, in every position you want to make it easy to get out. So let's go through the galley and some of the interesting features. Full-size residential refrigerator and freezer. Take a look at just the capacity. And of course, you know that this is a refrigerator, but this gives you an idea of the size and volume of the refrigerator, ice and water distribution, and safety locking mechanism in place. Once you put it here in bad weather, the door can't open with you know, so this is something that we provide, very clever. Storage in every single corner available. Of course, dedicated space for your silverware, so conveniently located here, and of course custom made, each piece engraved for Azimut yachts, little details. Now, Miele appliances, best in the market. Of course, you have your wine cooler, you have your dishwasher, 8 pieces the dishwasher right here, Miele as well, wine cooler, and this is where really our design department and style department kind of creativity come into place, because of course you have this great amount of countertop which will be handy for stuff that you not necessarily need and use when you are preparing, because you don't want to get off the stairs to get here. So they decided to provide a sort of an L-shape additional countertop, so when the chef is here preparing, you know, he has a very convenient working area, and then when he's done you just put this back, it doesn't interfere, and you go down. Deep, very nice deep storage compartment here next to the stove, double bottom, and again, this is another access. Take a look in there, another super easy access to a fan coil to clean your filter, and then you put this bottom panel back in place. You have done everything with one end, so there's really no excuses to keep your air conditioning clean. Storage going down the stairs. So we are now approaching the crew quarters. As we said, the 78 offer a very comfortable technical space, because you have a helm station, galley, crew quarters, all in one area, separated by a sliding door from the owner side of the boat, but also accessible from the outside, going to the engine room, the bow, the flybridge, to that side door right there. Going down the stairs here, just again, quick technical look and of quality system. These are our, once you will come down, I'll leave this here, and these are the 3 UPS which feed the audio video system. Just would like you to take a look at it. First, you know, UPSs are sometimes they're tricky. They have a lot of protection. They're designed to protect sophisticated and expensive pieces of equipment, so they do go in a protection mode. Not often, but they do. And so you want to make sure that you have easy access to UPSs. You don't want to, you need to hide them. They're not nice pieces of equipment that you want to expose, but you don't want to hide them too much. And this is actually very easy. You have your breaker that power them here, and the 3 units here. And I'll actually leave this one here. And once again, super easy access to your air conditioner. You put your panel back in place with your double side Velcro in place, done. So let's approach the crew quarters. And as you can see here, they have a door which of course can separate the area for the night. And here is where you approach basically dedicated, the entire bow is dedicated to the crew quarter. A lot of storage, you know, hanging lockers here and drawers on the bottom. Then we'll see there is other storage there. They have their own safe in this locker right here. Here you have drawers under each of these hanging lockers. And here you have two bed here with their own dedicated audio video system. Storage under this bed, storage under this panel, which lift up super easy by just lifting this, and you access your storage. And natural light, natural ventilation, and of course the possibility to separate the cabin through this pocket door. So this becomes cabin number 1, and this will be cabin number 2. I apologize for the amount of stuff which is here, which on the other hand though is fairly good because it gives you an idea of the volume of this area. And again, this boat just arrived from Italy, so has not been fully commissioned yet. That's why all the chairs, you see, these are the cockpit chairs, everything is still here, vacuum cleaner hose. But this has their own audio video system, storage, nice storage shelf, beautiful natural light, and portal for natural ventilation. And this is the crew bathroom, which I would like you to shoot because it's very ergonomically comfortable. You have everything you need, and I'll show the shower, which is always important, especially when you work on board, and is extremely generous. So separated shower, and I move very comfortably. If also with a bench, you know, for the stool, if you want to shave your legs and be in comfort, you put your telephone shower here, and you really have a rain shower from the roof with a fairly large amount of comfortable movement. And let's go down to the lower deck. So again, we go this way, very comfortable passages, see no steps all the way to the cockpit. And now we're approaching the lower deck. Lower deck, where as usual, I like to show beautiful but also practical handrails. So my hand goes here, my other hand goes on the left, my right hand finds immediately another handrail on the right. I'm now approaching the lower deck and I have a handrail on the right. So very safe trip to the lower deck in case of weather. And here we're gonna start right from the master. 78 Flybridge master cabin is the aftmost cabin on board, of course, because we want to take advantage of the widest beam. So it's a full beam master, immense natural light, as you can see, with natural ventilation on both sides. And we'll go through the details as well, especially storage and features, and a little bit of design, because this is where Achille Salvagni expressed himself the most. So for instance, if you look at these and you imagine it in the Bahamas or in Mexico in a beautiful Seas of Cortez with beautiful underwater light on and fish. So this is really, you see the details, this is a frame. It is purposely made as a frame. Instead of being 90 degrees, it would have been much simple. So you have this round, steam curved 10% oak folding into 100% gloss mahogany frame, because this is your piece of art, if you think about it. Between the design pieces of Achille Salvagni, the design light, look at this beautiful leather wrap, custom made, custom shaped box where you can have a couple of books and a magazine, beautiful cushion. Here, this is both a beautiful and practical, so beautiful, deep, long drawer chest. So while we are here on the port side, walk-in closet with a full-size mirror and a hanging bar, drawers throughout, and you're safe. So walk-in closet on your port side, and bed, full-size bed, and of course you have drawers which are easy to access without the need to lift the mattress, but also you know, as all our beds, you know, when you lift the mattress with the movement which is helped by those hydraulic rams, you have an incredible amount of storage. So you can see the body of the 4 drawers, which are easy to access without lifting the mattress, and then all those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different storage compartment areas are instead under the bed for sheets and towels for the cabin, but also luggages, suitcases, and extra clothing, maybe rain gear, whatever. You have a lot of storage available. This is of course your television, so you have this beautiful massive mirror in your master cabin with this polished brass frame throughout, and the television is behind this section of the mirror. This and that of course are fixed, and behind here you have a television that you see only when it's on, and when it's off you don't see the ugly appliance, and instead you see this beautiful piece of art mirror. Going on this side, while we are here, take a look at these at the handles, because they are not your everyday handles. You see they have this curved shape which follow the curves of the design. So this is where you have countless hours spent by people with talent to select and combine materials, design, and components. Of course, will be much easier. Take a look at the thickness of this door. Take a look at the quality of the hardware, the quality of installation, how flush the screws are. I mean, I'm probably a little bit off when it comes to these things, maybe too much, but this is where I would like people to appreciate the quality and the focus on details. I mean, this is just a door, and to me it's a piece of art. Look how thick it is, and all sealed with gaskets, so once it's closed, it's hermetically closed, it doesn't rattle, it doesn't make noise in navigation, isolate from sound, so you can talk 15 minutes about the door. Storage here hosts some of your audio-video components, and this cabin has a surround sound, so these are the perfectly nice and flush integrated speakers. You have 4 of them, and you have your subwoofer there, and your receiver here, DirecTV, and available storage. Going more on the starboard side, beautiful, look at this vanity. But of course the storage, God forbid we waste any inch, so, and look at this, really beautiful brass trim, painted, and this velvet material. This is all really Achille Salvagni to the best of his expression, and very comfortable vanity. You have your mirror, you have 3 drawers available for makeup and vanity accessories, and of course you have AC power and 2 USB, so you can have your phone charging, your iPad charging, and your hair blower all in this area. Here now you would be, you know, in Puerto Vallarta, in Mexico, or in Cancun at the beautiful turquoise water. Let's go to the head. Very spacious here, and his and hers. Incredible amount of storage, again always very cleverly done. So as you can see, cut through for the discharge of the sink, and everything else use for storage, both on the top and the bottom of the cabinetry, of course ×2, his and hers. And of course you have natural light and natural ventilation through these beautiful portals, and when you want it, otherwise you close it against there with that mirror. Again, your synthetic marble countertop, super resisting, so they have a feel. You see, they really do an amazing job. This really looks and feel like a stone, but the good part of it is that nothing can hurt it. And these beautiful, cute little shelves for storage as well. Electrical sockets, shower. This is an easy shower to show because it's massive, but you know, still I want to give an idea. Rain shower, your phone, and your phone outlet, and this is really a shower, I would say, for 2. You can see I'm 6 feet, 165, 170 pounds, and look how easily I move into the shower. Very important here, technical details. This is a light which advises you that the gray water tank is approaching his top level. So that is a message which tells you you should stop showering maybe quickly. and start your gray water pump, unless you set it in automatic, and then you will have no problem because it will start automatically. You might wonder what these two hatches are, and I'm happy to show them to you. Technical hatches, of course, and you want to have access to this componentry easy. So I like to show you the quality level, the execution level of a technical system. So this is your water distribution manifold, and obviously you can tell because everything is perfectly labeled in English. Of course, this is your cold water, this is your hot water, and you can adjust the flow to each of the area and or isolate. If you need to work on it and you want to close the line, you can. This right here, another technical hatch. Again, they're not the prettiest. Of course, the floor would be prettier without these hatches. This is not a house. There is a lot of system under the floor, and therefore you need these hatches, and believe me, you want them. This is your gray water tank. And look again at, first of all, the quality of execution of the system. Every single hose double clamp, and this is our low pressure hose. So technically you don't really need two clamps on these hoses, but nevertheless, all double clamps. We don't want any leak. And look at the quality of this inspection plate, you know, and don't be, I mean, of course, with the drill, you take it off in 2 minutes. You wouldn't do it by hand, but with the drill. And then this is a plate which allow you to access the tank for cleaning and maintenance, and accessing also the sender. So this is, again, I always like to show the B side, because when these things don't work, no matter how pretty this is, it's not going to be an happy day. So you want to be able to have easy access. Now let's go to the other quarters, and let's start from you know, the VIP cabin, which is actually my favorite, to be honest with you, on the 78, because it has a lot of very interesting features. So you enter and you immediately find a lot of space. This is a very large VIP cabin. The bed is still low, so in a residential kind of environment, you don't need to have that kind of, because is in a position where, remember, the crew quarters are this way. So the boat here is still very wide and allow us to keep the height at the proper comfortable level. You don't need to have those very tall beds that you typically have in the V area of the bow. And of course, you have an immense amount of storage under this bed, which is your 4 drawers, accessible also while you're here, accessible also from the side without the need to lift the bed. And then you have the center storage, your subwoofer for your dedicated audio video, and of course you have other storage here. This is your hanging locker with automatic lighting and 2 drawers. You have storage here on both sides. Again, these panels, guess what they are for? So easy access to, guess what, the filter of your fine coil. And so storage and fine coil access on this side. On that side is storage only, or rather dedicated to full storage. On this side, a little bit of an audio video component there. And then of course you have drawers on your nightstands. And look also how big and large and comfortable, and the details of this nightstand. You have the 100% gloss mahogany, stainless steel frame, leather wrap insert on the nightstands for the phone or your Kindle. Of course, your socket, your light control on the side. These are beautiful light designed by Achille Salvagni for the 78, again, with this trim. He uses this bowl-shaped light on other models, but the 78 featured them with this black metal bases. They're unique. And now, while you're there, if you want to look at these, this is really another piece of art, which is this mirror. Of course, the television is here, is integrated, but look at this suspended floating box for storage, and look at the quality of execution of the integration of this sound bar. So all together becomes really a piece of art, because you see the round shape, the suspended box, the integration with the ceiling, with this geometry. So it really becomes a piece of art. And on the way out, we'll show there is another very interesting storage with a couple of interesting details. Head, again, very, very spacious, comfortable. Yes, it's one sink, but wide and convenient, and natural light and natural ventilation through this comfortable portal. So to operate, and you want to have natural light, natural air, you can open your portal and close your dogs. Always remember to close the dogs. You don't want them to be open, even though the crew will come and check it before they take off. Storage everywhere, as I say, always cleverly done. So tons of storage, just a little recess for your discharge. And of course, you have a big drawer here with toilet paper roll holder, perfect position. Once again, another technical access to the bilge. Why not? Let's show it. So that gives you, this is actually a very good technical storage. Look at the amount of bilge space you have here. Imagine, you know, cases of plastic bottle of water, cases of sodas, all that heavy stuff that crew needs to have on board, roll of papers, I mean, you name it. This is an infinite amount of storage, which is very, very convenient for obviously more technical storage in this case. Take a look at the size of the shower, which is always worth it. Rain shower, combination of thick and lacquered. Very easy to access and clean and maintain. Drainage of the shower, as you can see, for the crew to access the drain. 2 pieces of wood they remove, and you can clean that drain and put them back in position where they belong. And very comfortable shower. As you can see, I can move freely. I don't interfere with anything. I don't need anything. So tons of space in these showers. Let's get out of the VIP, and I would like you to focus, of course, on this incredible amount of storage. On the way out, there is 3 drawers, an hanging bar, a mirror, and another piece of storage here. But also, when you close it, take a look at that handle, because it's just another piece of art. Looks like Joe Ponti sculpture from Italy, designed by Achille Salvagni for the 78. So let's, you might wonder, what is this door? Day head. So this is the bathroom which, when you have a guest on board, you're having a dinner, you have people which not necessarily sleep on the boat, they need to go to the bathroom. This is the door which lead to the port side head, which is shared between the port side double guest cabin and the rest of the boat as a day head. If we go this way, you have the starboard side VIP, which has again full-size bed, very comfortable pathways to and from the bed. You see, I don't have to, I'm not really limited in any movement, and the movement is comfortable. You have a storage in both nightstands. Here you can see you have drawers, pull-out drawers, a little pocket here for your phone, and comfortable bed. In this bed is actually incredible, the amount of storage. You're gonna take a big look, a nice look from here, because there is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 compartments under one bed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are openable drawers, so you don't need to actually lift the top of the bed to access. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are drawers, and the rest are all storage compartments, and then access to technical systems and the bilge from where you see those hatches. So 11 storage compartments under one bed, 5 of which accessible, of course, without the need to move the bed. So this would be another one. You see the drawers, super easy accessible if you want to, so the everyday stuff will be more there, and your suitcases or stuff that you not necessarily need every day. Even though, I mean, look how easy it is to lift the bed. I mean, it's not that big of an operation. One hand, and it's really, really super light and assisted, so it's not that big of a deal. mirror, TV behind a mirror, but look at the quality of execution and design. Two areas right here which are worth showing because they are immense. You see, this is again, remember, this is the 11 storage compartments bed, and these are the amount of storage in the cabin. So everywhere you look, from the hanging locker and drawers, over the bed, under the bed, so this cabin has an incredible amount of storage. The head, where again we're going to show the showers. The cabins are getting smaller. We started from the master, we went into the VIP, now we are in the starboard guest, so it's more important to show the size of the showers. And again, I can completely move with no interference, very comfortable, very ergonomic, rain shower, telephone showers, very easy access to your drain. And again, let's take a look at here, black water pump. So look how easy is the access, how much space you have around it. You really disconnect two hoses, take the pump out, put the new pump in, reconnect the hoses, done. You don't have to take anything apart. You just remove this hatch and you have super easy access to your black water pump, and that's your black water discharge valves. Of course, connected to the bonding system, that's very important. You see the yellow-green wire which goes to the through hole right there. That shows again quality of systems and execution. Look at the condition of this area, look at the labeling there. This tells you black water pump, black water, but obviously is a pump. Flow, indication of flow, so the flow is going from there to there and then goes around and goes outboard if that's the way you want it. And then down there you have a label which again tells you that that's the black water discharge with the check valve right there, so the flow can only go one way. You can add backup. So this gives you a little bit of a view of the technical side. And here we have again access to the bilge. Shoot it if you want, just to have a view of how clean it is and how detailed it is. There is no systems there, it's just another access to the bilge. Again, it can be used for storage of light stuff. So storage, again, look at the amount of storage that you have available under the sink in this starboard VIP. Natural ventilation, natural light, storage on the second level, of course, and countertop, we talked about it before. So let's go to the last cabin. Again, a 4-cabin, 4-head layout on this Azimut 78 flybridge. And this is the cabin which I mentioned before, share the head with the day head. So that door that you just saw is in this head, and this is the head of the port side guest, double bed. But once again, I have, first of all, I have a comfortable bench, and again, typically used more for shaving, for people who ride bicycles, maybe like me, or girls, and rain showers, telephone shower, and you have the same advise alarm in every shower, which tells you that the gray water tank is getting full. That doesn't mean that you need to jump out of the shower or you're going to be left in soap. It's just an advice, just you don't have to ignore it for 4 showers in a row, because then you will be in trouble. Storage under the sink, and that again only if your gray water pump is not set in automatic. Otherwise that light will never come on. Access to your bilge here and systems. This is your actually hot water distribution. Makes the hot water always available immediately to each faucet instead of waiting for it. And that's your gray water discharge outlet and gray water system hosing. Again, your bonding system, you see the same quality, of course, throughout every system. These are the Tecma toilet with the bidet feature. So this valve right here is now making water run through the bowl and is a bidet feature. Port guest, this again is your central vacuum system. We try to put as less of these as possible, so they are positioned in the strategic place where the length of the hose can cover the most area. So this will cover the lower deck, and the hose from here can go forward and aft. And then you have, of course, your drawers on each side of the bed coming out, and you have storage under the beds again, as well as fine coil access. And of course, this is a little storage as well. here, and I think this is kind of called the other cabins and what we talked about in terms of material. There is an hanging locker here if you want to open it and shoot it on the way out, and otherwise I think we are done. Let me help you here. So you have a hanging locker here and through drawers coming out from underneath. You have another drawer, and they're fairly actually deep and wide and long, so they're a lot of capacity for storage. We are approaching the bow. Well, we are on the exterior. This is the right time to talk about the exterior designer, which is Alberto Mancini. So we discussed about the interior so far, designed by Achille Salvagni, and this is the exterior designed by Alberto Mancini, a very talented young Italian designer, and this is one of his pieces of art that he made for us. He did the S10, he did the new 53, and of course he did this 58. On the practical side, sideboarding gates, very conveniently located and important for the Americas. These are your insert where you put your sideboarding ladder, which we have actually right now on the other side. And this is your sideboarding gate where you come on board. And of course it locks in place with a safety mechanism under here. Side cleats. This also gives you an idea from the more back you go, the more you will have an idea of the amount of natural light that you have from the outside coming in through this almost frameless. There is just a couple of junction areas, frameless windows on the side. Very wide sidewalking. Look at this. I mean, you can, again, 6 feet, 165, 170 pounds, and I'm walking without any interference. Nice and safe handrail to grab. Then I go to my handrail here, and here we are really in what is not, this is not really a bow sunbathing area. This is a full lounging area. Now you have 3 sofas, 2 love seats and a big C shape, and look at the ergonomics. As usual, we focus on the practical side. You can see that my entire leg, the part of my leg, is properly set on the sofa. I have a lot of back support. You know, the backrests are properly located. I can really spend hours here with family and friends, having a good time, enjoying the breeze at night, chit-chatting. I mean, this is the place where you really can spend a lot of time. And of course, the same apply to the other side, to the 2 love seats. And when you need, and you have a little bit more drinks and food, you can open this table. Again, the same material throughout the entire boat as far as tables, so Corian and the synthetic marble. And you know, when you don't need it anymore because you don't want interference in the passage, you just close it. We always like to talk about practical things, so check this out. This is a storage which is dedicated to the carbon fiber poles and awning, which are for the bow area. And I want to show you the level of quality and details at which is done. So one thing on board is always nice to have features and things that you put up and down, but also you need places where you can put them away safely when you don't use them. And this is perfectly done. It looks like almost a fishing rod holders, if you wish. Your 2 carbon fiber poles goes in there, and your awning goes in there, and they are, you know, it locks in place, and this is where everything is designed to go. Here, back in the days, I remember when I came here to the US in 2003, we were always complained about the lack of cup holders. And now we took that extremely seriously, because check this out. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 cup holders and 1 bottle holders in basically, what is this? 7, 8 square meters of space. So that gives you an idea about how much we have learned the market, how much we listen to the customer base, and you know, and how much we build the product properly for the market. Seal storage on the side here as well, and you have actually an immense amount of storage under this hatch right here. if you look at it, and this is where you have another area where you can store a lot of cleaning products, drinks, heavy equipment, so you name it. And of course that will be your sunbathing area, extremely comfortable. You can lay either vertically or transversally, and again, this is your lounging bow area. Everything is all in place by 3M product, Velcro and mechanical fit for the cushions, and put them back in a heartbeat. These are the receiver for your carbon fiber poles. One is here, one is on the opposite side, and then the other ones are here, where you remove these bays right here. And these, first of all, check the quality, and I wish you can feel the weight of this piece of custom polished stainless steel. This is where the base of a carbon fiber pole goes into place. And then when you don't use it, it locks in place, so it's nice, beautiful and flush. Of course, all our stainless steel is custom made, custom welded, custom polished, I always repeat it, done per each arm number. And of course you have your windlass here, and I think we are ready to go and approach our incredible flybridge. Comfortable stairs, very nice and wide, handrails solid all the way up. I leave my handrail here, I grab another one here, and I'm safely approaching the flybridge, which is yet another incredible area of this Azimut 78. This is the hatch, hold in place with rams, and the purpose of this hatch is when you have bad weather, you close it, you don't have rain coming down the cockpit, so you can still enjoy some of the outdoor and without being affected by the rain. Aft area of the flybridge, we offer multiple different configurations. This is what is important to know. In this case, as you can see, of course, you have two love seats with coffee table, but you can have lawn chairs, you can have an L shape, you can have actually a grill barbecue area on the starboard side here behind the stairs. So it's a very versatile area that can be fit and equipped by the owner as he pleases. If you look here, we have these beautiful teak and stainless steel custom made stools, which of course they are connected to the deck, but they swivel and turns and adjust. Very comfortable, very wide seating with the step. So you can see again, the ergonomic are very wide, very comfortable, very lounging, and this really is at all the effect a full bar for entertainment. Again, you imagine you have 3-4 people there, couple of people here, the owner if he likes, or a crew member on this side of the bar, where of course you have a refrigerator and ice maker right here under the counter, stainless steel drawer refrigerator, ice maker, and storage on both sides of this is convenient for your grilling. Of course, this is your barbecue, your standard barbecue. This is comfortable for your grilling sauces and powders and seasonings. And you close these and you have actually storage here with your double trash compartment, recycle and standard trash. As I said, this is your standard grill, and when you close, it gives this beautiful countertop. For additional grilling features, of course, you can add a full grill barbecue cabinet over there. Of course, here you have your sink. Again, very spacious and generous storage here. Right now we have our covers here, conveniently comfortably located, and countertop, same material throughout. We saw it in the bow, in the cockpit, on those tables and here. So you have this synthetic marble with Korean framing. And this is actually a pretty cool feature because of course you have your TV, which comes out from this top electrically, and once it's up, obviously I'll show you this one because this is a pretty neat mechanism and very cleverly done. So you can leave it like this if you want to watch the game or TV from the bar or from that area, or you can actually have it swivel and rotate with the touch of a button if you want to instead enjoy TV in a game or whatever when you're comfortably sitting in this dining table. Dining for up to 8 people up here on the flybridge as well. 2 chairs on that side, up to 3 chairs actually on that side. 1, 1 and 1, 2, 3. And as usual, and as I always point out, you have a ton of storage under this sofa area. This is a dry storage, so that's why you have this dry compartment with sealed with a gasket, so you're sure that the content in here is always dry. You see, you have this gasket here and these dogs, so this is a watertight storage, and you don't have to worry about stuff in there getting wet. And approaching the helm, of course, you have extra very wide and generous storage under this sunbathing area. This will be perfect for your cover, and easy to open. You don't have to remove the cushions, they come up with it, and then you put it down and everything folds back in place. You just make sure the Velcro engage again and you're done. Cup holders on the side of this beautiful sunbathing area, and this is an area which is actually A, very comfortable, and B, very protected from the wind. So imagine that somebody, your friends are driving the boat and you want to sunbathe. This is very comfortable, and this windshield breaks the wind and bring it up, so it's a very protected area where you can spend some comfortable time. This unit is equipped with a pilot seat, of course, this is standard, and optional co-pilot seat. And you can see how cushiony and welcoming these seats are, so long-term navigation on this 78, and the ergonomics are perfect. The pilot seat, they are adjustable, so you can go back and forth as you please. And this helm basically provide you with all the controls of the lower helm, just with 2 displays instead of 1. But again, the display can be split, so they can become 4, and you can have all your information, starting of course from your, for instance, from your engine's information. You might want to have your RPMs, your temperature, your oil pressures and values on that one, and your chart plotter on this one. You can split them. You can have engines and fish finder on one, and chart plotter and monitoring system on the other. You have, of course, your maneuvering joystick perfectly located here. So when you maneuver, typically you will stay like this. You want to check your bow and your stern and your side, and with one end you will be able to have the boat, of course, move and enter or exit your mooring station very, very easily, in addition to the cockpit maneuvering station that we have seen before. Thruster controls, I will not go through it. Comfortable and convenient objects. You know, what is it, pocket? In Italian is svuotatasche, you know, it is where things that you, when you get home, you have a change and your phone and your money, and you empty your pockets. So it's very convenient to have these 2 areas where you can have, of course, drinks, your phone, your keys, whatever you want. You have it here in with contained lips, so it's not moving and nor going anywhere. Last but not least, we have a sunroof, which is actually in this 78 is a glass sunroof, openable. Is made by Webasto, so a German brand, very reliable, and it opens for airflow. And you know, if you want to enjoy a stargaze night, you know, without interference, you can open that section of the roof, and you have a clear view. Versus the back side of the hardtop is glass, but it doesn't open, it doesn't move. While you're here, of course, we have the Garmin camera system. You have a camera here on the flybridge, camera in the cockpit, a camera in the engine room, which from the old multifunction displays, you can also have a page where you have your cameras, which is very important, especially the engine room one. While we are here, safety gates, so solid, check the diameter of this stainless steel gate, and they lock in place, so you just lift them up, give them the turn they need, and once they reach final destination, they lock down in place, and you can see this is a safety gate, so nobody can risk to go the wrong way. Then you want to move it, you actually lift it, and it locks again in the second position, spring loaded. With the press of this button, you access this incredible storage compartment, and as you can see, it's not a garage for a tender, but You can put sea bobs, fishing gear, diving tanks. So it's a very, very spacious storage unit on the transom for all your water toys, water sports, and so on and so forth. Of course, here we are standing on an hydraulic swim platform designed to host a 395 Williams tender, and or a three-seater jet ski if you prefer. Of course, this goes up and down and makes launching the tender or the jet ski just a piece of cake. You just undo the dogs, tight the line on the cleat, make it go down, the tender float, and off it goes without any effort. Let's go now to the engine room. Of course, you have two axes. This is the most convenient and comfortable one. But in case of bad weather, you don't want to enter the engine room from here, so you have another access actually in the cockpit. You have a ladder, a hatch which opens, and a ladder which takes you down to the engine. Today we are at the dock, so let's take advantage of this comfortable access. So you always want to face ladders, never go on a ladder forward facing, but always back facing. And here we come into the heart of this Azimut 78 flybridge. As I mentioned before when we were talking about the propulsion system, triple IPS 1350, so a ton of power, which if we would have designed this boat with traditional two-engine and shaft line, this engine room would have been much bigger, and therefore the space we have been able to dedicate to the lower deck, particularly the owner and guests, would have been much more affected and much less. So IPS propulsion was a decision that we took very easy. There is an infinite amount of reason why this is the future, starting from comfort. So as I said, these enable us to provide much more space to the lower deck. So if you think about the accommodation, we start at the bow with the crew quarters and go all the way to the master head. That amount of space, you wouldn't be able to have it with a traditional propulsion. Comfort again is vibration and noise. So this amount of power in a traditional propulsion system generates by default, no matter how well you do it, it's just the nature of the beast if you wish, generates by default an amount of vibration and noise which is substantially higher than the IPS propulsion. And then of course you get into the more renowned benefits of IPS, which is fuel consumption. You are anywhere between 25 and 30% less fuel at the same performances. And last but surely not least is maneuverability. The maneuverability of IPS, of course, is significantly better than traditional shaft and rudders and props. What I always say is that maneuvering you can learn. It's just a matter of practice. People have been maneuvering boats without IPS for decades, and so you can practice, you can learn. Fuel, you can pay for it. If it's not a problem, the difference in the money that you pay and you can afford it, not necessarily is a problem. Nobody can tell me that enjoys vibration, noise, and tighter spaces in the lower decks. So that is something that is 360 degrees. Anybody you ask will tell you that they will love to have less vibration, less noise, more space. This is what IPS does. Going through the engine room again, we have 224 kW, so 48 kW of power generated by Kohler on this 78. Of course, Seakeeper stabilizer right under, so you see how neat this installation is. So fuel tanks, going this way, another incredibly important piece of equipment is that, which is your air conditioning unit. So Dometic chill water loop, very easily accessible, very easily serviceable. You see you have all your compressors here, your chill water pump right here, and this is again a chill water system, so all your gas for air conditioning, of course, this is air conditioning system. All your gas is here. The only thing you have going through the boat is a loop. It's what we call a loop of very cold water, which goes through the coils of each of the fan coils that we've seen inside the boat, and that is what conditions your air. That's what makes the air cold. But the gas, the exchange, is all made here. which is pretty unique. If you can, you don't want to have gas going through the boat. Up in that corner, behind the Glendenning Cable Masters, of course you have two Glendenning Cable Master on the 78. You have your freshwater pumps. Once you go there, and again, I don't want to give you the impression that it's difficult to reach, because it's not. It's just a technical space, but the height and the freedom of movement, of course, I'm talking now about a technical space, but to be able to, access your fresh water pumps in this very easy way to work on them is actually pretty convenient. I've been owning and dealing and working on boats all my life, and this actually is a good access for pumps that, again, sooner or later need maintenance and work. And so these are your fresh water pumps, AC and DC redundant pumps, galvanic isolators. Long story short, these extend the life of your zincs. You heard the story of your boat protecting the boats in the marina which have no zincs. It is actually true. So without these two pieces of equipment, if the boat next to you doesn't have enough zincs and you do, you are protecting them, and vice versa. With this system, you are your own world. You're completely isolated. That's why they're called galvanic isolator. They extend the life of your zincs, protect your boat from galvanic corrosion. Very important pieces of equipment, standard on Azimut yacht. Above your head, you have the box of the gangway. So that is the gangway. Again, Azimut 78 provides a gangway in case of a stern mooring. These are your Volvo Penta transmissions. Of course, I will try to don't point out things which are obvious. Nice is the access to your strainer. Each of the strainers of each engine is very easily accessible. So you just need your wrench here, and then you can clean your sea chest. You see the handle here, you take it out, clean it, and put it back. And under those hatches right here, you have all your strainers for your air conditioning. That is the seawater pump of the air conditioning right there. Again, very easy access. And the seacock of the air conditioning, and one of the generator is under that hatch, the other generator is under the other hatch. That red handle right there, that is the communication valve, the communication line between one fuel tank here and the other, and that's the electrical solenoid which open and close the valve electrically as well. Of course, you have your water separator filters on each engine and generator, in addition to the filters which comes with the engines. This is actually a new system which we have just introduced, and is a system which prevent and extend the life of your air conditioning system, because through an electrical process prevent the growth of vegetation through the saltwater lines. So this is a line which comes from that pump that we saw before. So salt water comes through here. This is an element which in a way clean that water and avoid the need of a descaling of your compressor. So this will extend the lifespan of your maintenance needed on your air conditioning system. Very interesting system. We have introduced it first on this 78, and then we are extending it to the range as an available option. American product made in the USA. So we are actually very proud to feature it on this. This is actually the first unit where we are introducing that new system and new technology. Going back this way, of course, you have your battery charger system there. Master Volt, I always mention that, is the best available on the market, and so is what charges the batteries of this Azimut 78. And while we are here, I will again, as usual, open one of these electrical panels, just without even worrying it, and give you an idea of the quality of execution, naming and labeling of each components, each relay, each resistor, and each wires has his reference. Of course, it's obvious, but Italians back in the days, it is true, they had a reputation where electrical systems were not the forte, and now that is an old legend. Nowadays, this is the way we, at least, Azimut Benetti Group, make our electrical panels. So we provide paper and digital electrical drawings, and every single line is named and reported on the electrical drawing. So as long as you have the proper know-how, servicing an electrical system on an Azimut Benetti is as easy as on any other competitor. So let me close this product, and I think we went through everything here in the engine room. I mean, the quality of execution, everything is very easily accessible, everything is labeled, everything is exposed. So for service purposes, the access is there, is easy. You don't have to spend extra money to gain access to systems when you need to. And the emergency ladder access to the engine room from the cockpit. And if you might wonder what this is the wrench that you need to open your C strainer, the engine C strainer. This is a very important wrench, so it's located here, and of course you're going to have an extra one, but we provide this one to open all the strainers. So air conditioning, generator, engines, they all have the same wrench size, and is located there to open and close them. So once again, Federico Ferrante here from the Azimut Benetti Group. I hope you enjoyed this long but hopefully educational and thorough walking tour of these Azimut Yachts 78 Flybridge. As usual, if you have any question, you want to know more, do not hesitate to contact your local Azimut Yachts dealer, which will be at your entire disposal. Thank you, and see you soon. Stay tuned.